Nottingham Forest have beaten Man United 2-1. Yes, United have lost to Nottingham Forest in a game where, to be honest, Man United were outplayed, out-battled, and Nottingham Forest were just more organised on and off the ball. Yes, 2 goals from Nottingham Forest, one from Dominguez, the other one from Gibbs-White, and a consolation, I guess, from Rashford. Nottingham Forest have won the game. And do you know what? Like I said in my previous video, the performance against Aston Villa for me was all that mattered, not the result. And yes, we won against Aston Villa, but the performance for me was rubbish. It was bad. It was not good. And we're not performing better. I don't think the performance levels are improving. Yes, we are winning games, but I do not think we are playing better. I do not see an improvement, and we have to talk about it. The forwards today, the forward line, Anthony, Rashford, Garnacho, it just didn't work. For me, it just does not work. We're going to have to talk about it, and we're going to have to be honest today, guys. A United team should be beating Nottingham Forest. Should be beating Nottingham Forest. So today, the fact that we didn't win and the fact that we were outplayed for large parts of the game, once again, we're going to have to think about the manager. We're going to have to talk about him. We're not going to shy away from anything today. So as usual, not a good game, not a good performance. For large parts of it, I was asleep. I was falling asleep. It was that boring. And, you know, even though goals started coming in the second half, it lacked quality. The game also lacked quality. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it as usual. There's a lot on my mind. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to analyse in today's game. Thank you. If you're not... Thank you guys for joining the channel. Smash the like, turn on the notifications if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe, share with your friend. Brand new channel where we literally come in, have a little drink. Don't need to drink anything. Or just listen. Or just take part. It's a debrief. We talk about the game. We try not to be biased. Everybody's biased. I know that. But there's a motto, there's a phrase that I say. We say what we see, not how we feel, right? We just talk about the game. We talk about what happened, yeah, and how we feel about what happened, and that's it, you know? So, hope you like the channel. If it's your first time joining the channel, welcome, you know? But let's dive straight into it. Let's dive straight into it, guys. So, in terms of the lineup, I mean, there's not much I want to say about the lineup, in the fact that the only thing I will say is that whatever team United put out there should be good enough to beat a Nottingham Forest team. So I will just say that. Because usually I go through the lineup and I say, you know what, starting Rashford up front, Rashford is not good against low blocks. I'm pretty sure Nottingham Forest are going to, you know, have a low block. Maybe he's not the one to start up front. But, you know, is Martial injured? What's going on in Hoyland? What alternatives do we have? I don't know. So you can argue maybe start Ahmad rather than bring him on in the second half, as he did, rather than Anthony. So we could do that. We could play this game today. But I'm not going to do the game where we talk about who started, because, like I said, I think whatever team we put out, whether it's Eriksen and Mainu or Eriksen and McTominay, it should really be good enough to beat Nottingham Forest. And I was expecting a Man United win against Nottingham Forest. So, from my perspective, moving on to the game and how I saw the game, I mean, the first 10 minutes, United couldn't keep the ball. And not that Nottingham Forest kept it that much better in the first 10 minutes, you know. Usually teams are feeling each other out, and not always you get a team that makes their stamp on the game and puts their foot down within the first few minutes. That doesn't always happen, but definitely in this game, I didn't really get a sense of either team dominating early run. United definitely couldn't keep it. I remember Varane almost scoring an own goal, or the ball going across our own net, deflecting off Varane. So that was a heart in a sort of heart in my mouth moment. But neither team, like I said, for me, was stringing more than 5 passes together. So it was hard for me to grasp the game or get a feel of where it was going. But it was clear to me also that both teams were set up, or well, at least set up to be, I wouldn't say counter-attacking, but to transition very quickly. You know, I don't think either team are comfortable keeping the ball. I don't think either team can keep the ball well. So within the first 15, 20 minutes, as time started to unfold, I realized, okay, cool, this is going to be one of those, both teams are going to want to suck each other in and hit each other on some sort of quick counter-attacking transition. Goals are probably going to be scored only on a transition, or perhaps by winning the ball back, high press situation. And that's the only 2 situations goals were going to be scored today, based on both teams and based on how I saw how the game unfolded within the first 20 minutes. The stat within the first 25 minutes was that United had no shots on goal, which was really disappointing. And to be honest, after half an hour, there was nothing purposeful from United. You know, everything was just off the cuff. And we said this many times about the way we play and the way that we have been playing. There isn't that cohesion, the way that Arsenal, the way that other top teams play. Everything just seems so chaotic. There's no patterns of play. We don't know how to keep the ball. We're not really good at rotating the ball. We try to be a very quick transition team, but we're not even that good at that. And another reason why we're not good at that is because our decision making in the final third as well is often really, really bad. United had nothing to show really in the first 45 minutes. Nothing at all. And the one thing that I guess for me that was in United's corner, or less going for United, is the fact that United generally have better quality players. United have better players than Nottingham Forrest, sorry. So, out of the 2 teams who neither team can keep the ball, neither team have the necessary quality to perhaps create their own attack, I thought to myself, United would probably be still the team that I fancy to go on to score, because, you know, United have better players, and that would probably be the difference. That's what I thought in my head. You know, Nottingham Forrest in the first half, many a times kept utilising the wings. And I mean, most teams utilise the wings. I mean, that's what you do. You play football and you utilise the wings, utilise all the pitch. But there was noticeably a lot of gaps forming, especially around Aaron Wan-Bissaka's side of the pitch. And the combination between those two, especially defensively, and the dialogue, the communication, wasn't that good today. And we've seen Aaron get caught ball watching many times, and we've seen him being taken out of the team because he's letting goals in at the far post because he's ball watch, especially under Oli. We've seen this many times, and we saw that today again in his performance, especially in the first half. And like I said, United playing with no cohesion as we expect, as we've seen under Ten Hag. And I've said this many times in many a video. I can probably count on 2 hands how many good 90-minute performances Man United have had under Ten Hag. I mean, we've won games, we've won Carabao Cups, we finished 3rd in the league and all these things, but a lot of those performances were just, we won the games, but it was Lissandro's performance, clearance of the line, or a defensive performance at the end that saved us a lot of the times. And Casemiro, we forget that a lot of times we didn't play that well, and it was individuals like Casemiro coming up with last-minute goals. We didn't always have good 90-minute performances under Ten Hag, and especially towards the end of last season, I don't think I've seen a good 90-minute performance from this Man United side. And that 45 minutes was terrible. Was terrible from a Man United's perspective. And as we all do, we expected something better. We expected something much better in the second half. Surprisingly, I'm very surprised actually that Mainu came off for Scott McTominay. And for me, and I'm not just blaming it on, or blaming the fact that we lost on this decision or on Scott McTominay, but this is when I think things started changing for the worse for United. Because for me, Scott McTominay, while he has the physical ability to play the holding role, and he has the physical dominance to play it, I don't think he has the IQ and the know-how to play the role in terms of positioning, tracking back, and so on and so forth. Whereas perhaps maybe the opposite is for Mainu. Mainu is smaller in stature, but Mainu is probably more technically sound than Scott. And I think a lot of spaces started opening. And Eriksen has lost his legs anyway. We've said many times, especially last season, that Eriksen is 0.25 seconds slow in everything he does. It's a bit slow when he has the ball in terms of his passing choices. He's a bit slow off the ball in terms of his reaction time. He's a granddad, and you can tell. And we do really need to replace him. And I think that's probably what Mount was supposed to be. But yeah, let's move on. But yeah, I just think that change created more gaps, I think, more space. And as time went on, more spaces in the middle of our pitch. So Forrest started putting United under more and more pressure as the second half wore on. And I thought to myself, okay, do you know what? Forrest could actually win this game. Forrest are probably going to win this game. Anthony came off for Ahmad. We had a chance. In fact, you know what? I'm glad we made that change. And as soon as Ahmad came on, he was involved in Dallow's chance. Even though we didn't score, it's the fact that when Ahmad came on, he straight away, he didn't like get the ball and wanted to dribble or do anything like fancy. He got the ball, and with his first touch, he didn't take 2 touches, 1 touch, passed it on, because he knew he had to be quick. And Ahmad is very pragmatic and practical, and sometimes that's what you need. And Anthony's not always pragmatic. He'll dribble past a player, then cut back, and then do a step over, then cut back. He's not always pragmatic. Sometimes you need, I wouldn't say sometimes, you need pragmatism. Yes, you need creativity and flair, but you also need pragmatism with it. And I don't think Anthony his decision making is as good. So this Ahmad coming on and just wandering around the pitch and just moving around and just passing the ball quickly and not taking too long on the ball. It was just a breath of fresh air for me to see, to be honest. So I also want to shout out to Ahmad, and hopefully he continues to progress and he gets more game time, you know. Dallo hit the post. Like I said, Ahmad was involved. But 10 minutes after that, they scored. And like I said, it was very interesting because I think Evans was trying to play offside. That's fair enough. But the amount of space this guy had to shoot, we should have closed him down better. And that space did not happen in the first half at all. And even though we scored, 12 minutes after, and to be honest, all the goals were the same in terms of the technique, the striking technique. And to be fair, our goal was given to us. They scored their goal. Our goal was given to us. It was a terrible clearance from the goalkeeper. And Garnacho, the kid, even though he didn't play well today, he did not play well today. I know there's a lot of people online who love Garnacho, and that's fine. I just think we just need to let people earn their praise. I think we create superstars way too early. We created Rashford into a superstar before he did anything. We're going to create Garnacho into a superstar because he scored an overhead kick. He's not. Let him have good 90-minute performances. Let him. Yeah, he didn't have a good game today. None of the forward players had a good game today. But nonetheless, the kid did well to anticipate the pass, get the ball, square it to Rashford. And to be fair, once again, Rashford didn't have a good game, but his finish was really good. First time finish into the bottom corner. tucked it away. Really good finish. But like I said, the forward line today was not good. Anthony, the less said about Anthony, the better right now. I think at this stage, I'm done with the forwards. All of them. All of them. Like, Ahmad, of course, I've got time for Ahmad. But, yeah. And Sancho hasn't done anything. Until I see Sancho play, then this season, then I can't say anything. But from what I've seen, it's just not good enough. The way we play football, the way our patterns are played, our cohesion, our attitude, the way that we set up, it's nothing is right. The players are not playing for the manager. Or at least I don't think enough of the players are playing for the manager. But like I said, good finish from Rashford. But the goalkeeper, the goalkeeper's at fault there. And like I said, the only reason why United had a goal today, scored a goal today, was because of their goalkeeper. And not very long after that, as we know, Gibbs White on the counter scored. Once again, the goal was identical to the goal that was scored already, that they scored already. All three goals, like I said, were identical anyway. But similar position, I think for me, someone needs to be closer to him. Midfielder, perhaps. Maybe, I don't know. Someone needs to be closer to him. But United were very poor, very bad at getting back. I was watching one of the previous games, and I was watching, I can't remember what game it was, but it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, I was watching one of the previous games, and the way that the players were getting back all the time, they're sprinting back. I was like, the players these days are athletes. They are machines. One of the reasons why it's harder to see flair players, and flair players don't exist as much, is because the flair players can't get past these players anymore, because these players are just quick. So even if you do a little nutmeg or do a little skill and get past a player, the players are going to catch you up. Isn't it like it's harder to sort of beat a man nowadays, because everyone's built like a machine. So the football is changing so much. It's crazy. But good goal. Like I said, I don't think Onana might have saved it. Maybe another keeper could have saved it, but I think it was a good shot. It was a good goal. I'm not one of those people who are going to blame Onana for everything now, just because it feels good because he's someone to blame. I'm not going to point one finger at anybody. Like I said, I have my reservations regarding the manager. I think once everything gets sorted out anyway, when everything is in place, United get the football directors and get director of football and all of these other people and bodies and structures in place, I think the whole manager situation will take care of itself, personally. You don't need to be Ten Hag out or Ten Hag in, but for now, I think the manager just needs to be doing a lot better. I think the players also need to be doing a lot better as well. But as you all know, it falls into the manager really to get these players to play. And right now, United are not playing. They're not. So I don't know where else United can go, to be honest, from this. But we move. I think the next game's in midweek. We'll see how it goes. I believe it is. Let me know if I'm wrong, but let me know. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. My man of the match, I don't know. I can't really think of a United player. Dallo. Because I noticed a lot of, maybe Dallo. Even though Dallo was a bit iffy in some of the goals, his positioning as well. But in terms of, if I'm not biased, even though I said I'm not going to be biased, but this is definitely a channel where we talk from a Manchester United perspective here. So if I'm talking about the whole match, I'll probably give it to Gibbs White. But I'm thinking of man of the match from a Man United perspective, and I'd probably give it to Dallo, just about. What do you guys think? Who would you give it to? Who was your man of the match? What do you guys think of the game? What was your opinion on the goals? Where do we go? Let me know. Where do we go from here? Where does the manager go from here? Where do you think he's going to get sacked, and when do you think he's going to get sacked? Let me know these things, guys. Let me know these things. Let me know these things. Let me know these things. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good new year. I hope the new year brings joy, happiness, and everything. If you're not, and everything you dream. I hope.